Okay. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to today's meet and greet with a university from Germany. We'll go ahead and get started. We are here today to learn more about the Deggendorf Institute of Technology, a university of applied sciences located in the south of Germany. This is a webinar organized by Global College Advisors. You will hear more about GCA in just a moment. Before we dive into the presentation, I want to mention a few housekeeping items. Please keep your microphones muted throughout the presentation. If you have any questions, please use the Q&A function instead of the chat. We will have a Q&A session after the presentation, and we will answer all your questions then. And therefore, it will be easier for our presenters to get to your questions if you put them into the Q&A. Finally, this webinar is being recorded, and we plan on posting the video on our YouTube channel later this month. So please hop over to the Global College Advisors YouTube channel and check there if you'd like to rewatch some of the information. And with that, let me introduce myself real quick. My name is Cornelia Betschart-Fuertes, and I am the founder of Global College Advisors, GCA in short. We connect students with universities all over the world, including the United States. Global College Advisors provides one-on-one college consulting. We usually help students apply to a mix of universities in the US and abroad. This allows students to have a wider choice once college offers come in, and they can choose a college option that's not only best for them academically, but also financially. We are a full-service college consulting firm. That means we help with college research, college list building, essay strategy, financial aid education, and much more. I'm really excited about today's webinar since we have two very special guests joining us today. Emma Lund and Danielle Rodriguez-Perales from the Deggendorf Institute of Technology in Germany will introduce us to the university and provide information about the amazing English taught degree programs at DIT. They will cover the admission requirements, the application process, and much more. Emma is the head of student recruitment at the Deggendorf Institute of Technology. She is originally from England and has worked for the university in international marketing for the past 12 years. She took over the leadership of the student recruitment team in 2023, and her team is in charge of informing and guiding prospective students to gain admission to the university from all over the world. Emma is joined today by Danielle, who is an international student advisor at DIT. He is originally from Mexico, and he moved to Germany to study at Deggendorf Institute of Technology. He has both a bachelor's and master's degree from DIT. His bachelor's is in international tourism management, and his postgraduate degree is in global public health. So these are two of the many English taught programs that DIT offers. So welcome, both of you. I will stop sharing my screen now, and Emma and Danielle, please go ahead and take it from here. It's all yours.
Thank you very much for that nice introduction. Welcome, everybody. I shall try and share my screen. Okay, welcome to the Deggendorf Institute of Technology, as Cornelia said. We are based, as you can see here, in the southern corner, southern eastern corner of Bavaria, which is in southern Germany. So we've got the Czech Republic to the east of our base, Austria to the southeast, and then the Alps to the south. So you can also reach other countries. Lots of our students go around Europe. You can reach Italy within about 3 hours and France within about 4 hours. Switzerland is quite close. So there's lots of countries around. That's the general map of Germany that you can see in the top left-hand corner. And then the enlarged map is the area where we're based. So we've got 3 teaching campuses, which I'll come to later, and lots of technology campuses. We focus very much on research, and these technology campuses are all focused on one area of research. So what does it look like there in southern eastern Germany? It looks a bit like this. If I go around clockwise, so the top left-hand corner, that's Castle Egg, as it's a bit of a funny name, but anyway, Castle Egg. That's just around the corner from my house. It's a medieval castle, so you've got history in Europe. The top right-hand corner is a picture of the Deggendorf town centre, where our main campus is based. So we are a town, we're not a city, we're a country town, but it's very nice, and the living standard is quite high, or very high, I would say. And then at the bottom right-hand corner, there's somebody mountain biking there. Right behind the town, there's hills, and there's a UNESCO National Park of the Bavarian Forest. It was the first national park in Germany, and that's where lots of people use their free time and their weekends to go mountain biking, paragliding, or whatever they want to do. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, there's a picture of Deggendorf, what people would typically do, and students especially, hang around on the River Danube. We've got beach bar. We've got a beach bar there, and also beach volleyball place, and a promenade, and a park. So it's really quite nice. So studying at the DIT, what's it like? Well, the actual university has a student population of 8,500. And that compromises from about 45% international students from many countries around the world. There's about 100 countries, different countries represented. And this representation of different countries comes alight, really, or not alight, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Is displayed during this event, which you can see on the picture. This is called Taste the World, and it's where students from different countries cook up their cuisine from their country, and everybody else can come and taste it. So it's one of our university's favorite little events. So of course, the quality of education is important, and we're affiliated to many corporations, for example, the European University Cooperation, but also we've got rankings and awards. One that we're particularly proud of is the WURI Award. WURI means World Universities for Real Impact. Excuse me. And we came in at #1 worldwide last year for entrepreneurial spirit. So that means that we put big effort into getting our students into the workplace, and also helping them through advice and financial backing at the university to create their own startups and become entrepreneurs themselves. We also have prizes for research, and then another prize here, the EEE Award last year for Young Entrepreneurial University of the Year. So we really do concentrate on quality. And these, I mentioned before that we've got 3 campuses, 3 teaching campuses, and these campuses look like this. The one on the left in Deggendorf, that's our main campus, our flagship campus. It was built about 30 years ago, purpose-built as a university, and we've expanded it. And there's about 7,000 students based at that campus. And in the middle, we've got the European campus. The European campus is a smaller campus. There's about 1,500 students there, and it's about 45 minutes from the main campus. So it's in a different town, but quite near in the same region. And at the European campus, all of the courses, all of the bachelor and master programs are based in English. And English is the language, is the office languages or the campus languages, as we would say. And then there's a smaller campus in Cham, which is that one on the right, spelled Cham, but pronounced in German as Cham. And that's a small little mechatronic hub that's affiliated to one of the technology campuses and mainly does mechatronics. So this is what studying looks like if you were to make your way over to the Deggendorf Institute of Technology, to our university. As we say, we're a University of Applied Sciences. That means there's a lot of application in the theory that's taught. So, so there's lectures, practical teaching, and project work. So not everything is taught in the lecture theatre. There's also project works. This is one of the labs where you can see that green racing car. That's raced by the students. It's an electric car, and it's a student project. So they race that car, and they also build, and it's to do with one of their courses. It's one of the student projects. But of course, we have lecture theatres. There's a picture of one. And a lot of practical teaching. As I said, you know, there's a lot of application in the theory that's learned. Here's a picture of the sound studio that we got on campus. We've got a TV studio and a sound studio for media technology students. And this student is talking into the microphone in the sound studio. And of course, because we were purpose-built 30 years ago and then expanded 5 years ago, throughout this expansion, we've got lots of new labs and new technologies. And this is one of the labs that's a kind of a front runner and a highlight because it's an echo-free room, a low reflection room, which is echo-free. And usually when you talk, you can hear white noise or things in the background that you don't even realize you're hearing, to slight echo. When you walk into this room and you talk, you don't hear any noise, no echo, no white noise. It's completely silent. And it's used by the media technology students for sound recordings and things. So we've got various programs that are completely taught in English, and you wouldn't need any knowledge of German to start studying on any of these programs except one. I'll come to that. I'll just go down the list. So we've got a BA, which is Bachelor of Arts in International Management. This is one of our most popular courses. So there's also the possibility of a double degree for the most adventurous or ambitious students, and could do a double degree on this course with various universities from around the world. We've also got International Tourism Management, which is also based or focused on health and medical tourism, which is an area as people are living longer and living with ailments to an older age. And also people are wanting to go into rehabilitation centers for rehabilitation or also preventative medicine. So it's all attached to this tourism trade. And then we've got a Bachelor of Engineering, Building Products and Processes. This is understanding building materials, also sustainable building materials, and how to implement them in the building trade as a manager in middle management in the building trade. Energy systems engineering. This is also a lot to do with sustainability again. And then the next one, this is the one course where you would need A2 German to start the course. So you'd need a basic level of German on this electromobility, autonomous driving, and robotics. because it starts off in English, but in the third semester, it turns over to German, and then you have to study in German. The purpose of this is to get students, international students from abroad, get them into the language, and so they can then start their career in Germany. Of course, you know, many of the large companies even have an office language of English around Bavaria, but it's still always good to learn German, to speak German, because, you know, I know from my own experience that if you're talking in a group or you go for lunch with somebody, of course, they will talk to you in English, but it is good to approach them in their languages as well, to have that possibility. And then we've got industrial engineering for Bachelor of Engineering. And then in Bachelor of Science, we've got a new course, Artificial Intelligence. And also artificial intelligence is taught in English and in German. This one is in English, of course. And that one would involve an admission test. So you would apply and then you have to undertake a test to get a place on the course. And then health informatics, which is a computer science course, but specially for the health industry. And all of these bachelors are 7 semesters long, which means 3.5 years. They all include an internship semester. So we want you to go out into the workplace to do your internship. You can do it either locally here in Bavaria, in Deggendorf, or in Germany, or in Europe, or back in California. You can do your internship wherever you want. However, it must first be you must first speak to your faculty internship coordinator, and they sign it off as being appropriate. And then all students have the chance of doing an exchange semester. So we've got lots of partner universities around the world where students can go for 1 or maximum 2 semesters. And of course, that's coordinated before they leave for the exchange semester. So they can go off, they can study at an exchange university, they can take exams there, and then they get credits, which will then be integrated back into their course. And so there's no time wasted. These modules or classes or exams that they take while on the exchange are an integrated part of their degree. So they wouldn't have to be repeated. Oops. Okay, we've also got quite a few master programs in English. I'll go through this slightly quicker because there's 13 or 14, and every semester we have new programs, new English language programs being launched. So we've got International Tourism Development, which carries on, which is a consecutive master for the International Tourism Management. This one's development, so it's finding new destinations and how to develop them into the tourism trade. And then this strategic and international management, which is taught half in English and half in German. So you would need experience and also qualifications in both languages to apply for that. There's lots of Master of Engineering, Applied AI. There's AI for digital production management and for smart sensors and actuators. These are all kinds of specialist degrees. So you could do an artificial intelligence degree and then specialize in one of these areas to a master. Civil and environmental engineering, healthy and sustainable buildings, which again is a consecutive degree and matches to the Bachelor that we saw before, building processes. Intelligent robotics, mechanical engineering, mechatronic and cyber physical systems, which is taught at the small mechatronic hub in CAM. Media technology and technology management. And then we've also got general artificial intelligence as masters, health informatics, healthy and sustainable buildings, high performance computing, quantum computing, life science informatics, and a new postgraduate course, which is mental health. I think we can send this presentation afterwards with all the courses on. So of course, if you don't see a course or can't read it fast enough, can't take in all the information, we can send it off to you. Okay, Daniel, I'll put my microphone on too.
So yeah, now as I was introduced by Cornelia, well, I'm a former international student here in Germany, and now I'm working here. And for me, it was important to tell you, well, why Germany? Like, why will you choose Germany over all countries in the world or over other European countries? And well, I think the very most important thing is starts with money. So studying in Germany is, well, very low cost in comparison to the United States. We have very low tuition fees for internationals, and in some cases we don't have them. For example, a DAT, you are exempted from any fees, so you can study basically for free. You only have to cover your own living expenses, which, by the way, are much lower there in the States. And this, at the end of the day, translates into known student loans or very low ones that you can pay up very easily at the end of the day. Other things that are like very important if you want to decide to study in Germany is basically that, well, you will be covered by the German medical insurance. This means that everything that you need health-wise, it's covered by by the statutory German medical insurance. There's basic dental, no co-pays, and universal coverage. So whatever you need while you're a student, it's gonna be covered. And the fees are super low, so you need to pay, I think, like 100 euros a month, and everything is basically covered, including all your medications. And the insurance can also not refuse you if you have like any previous conditions. And of course, the German lifestyle. Germany is known for being a very safe country, being a country where you can travel along, if you like, living the European experience, basically. The internationality that you will live at DAT, because we're well, the most national university in Bavaria, and we have students coming from over 120 nations. And of course, the globally recognized degree, or a degree made in Germany. Germany is one of the, well, best countries to study in the world. And if you come with a German degree, I think you will be more than welcomed anywhere. And of course, studying in Germany gives you lots of future perspectives if you want to stay in Germany, Europe, or the world. So I think the German degree is basically the key, or a key, to study anywhere or to work anywhere in the future. Well, it was also important for me to talk to you about how, you will reach Germany. Just for your information as well, I will be sending Cornelia a list that you can use. There you will find all this information displayed, and you can read them through. But it's important for you that study with an American qualification in Germany, that it looks complicated, isn't that complicated. Well, you will need either a successfully completed bachelor's degree or an international baccalaureate diploma. There is by the way, some restrictions there, but normally an international baccalaureate is enough. Or there's the other option, which is entering with a high school diploma. However, there is some restrictions as well there. I think the most suitable option for most of the American, let's say, students will be like to make an associate's degree and then come to Germany, or of course you can study, like 2 academic years of at the university, and then you can come to Germany. The advantage of this is that you can get accreditation for most of or for some of the courses that you already did in the States. Exactly. With the high school, or coming back to the to study with a high school diploma, well, you see like a huge list of different let's say academic units that you have to fulfill. But I promise you, it's not as complicated as it looks over there, and you can read through the document that you will be getting. There is also the chance to enter with an advanced placement test. And well, there is this website, which I put the link there, and it will be sent to you as well, from the DAAD. The DAAD is basically a German institution that works with, well, the whole world, and you can see a data bank there that displays on how you can study in Germany overall. So just have a read on this, have a read in the document that you will be getting from Cornelia, and you will be completely set up. Coming back to money, and I will want to talk like what are the actual costs of studying in Germany. Well, you will need around 1,000 euros monthly, approximately, of course, depending on your like standard of life. It's important to mention that this 1,000 euros are not fees that you have to pay at the university. This is basically just to cover your own expenses. And here's everything included. You will in Germany, you don't have to pay for books or anything. The library normally has them open for you, so there is very little, if not any, costs associated to your studies directly. You have to only pay the 72 union fee per semester. The union fee is for the student union, and with this money, things like cafeteria are subsidized, so you can have like already like a meal for like 3 or 4 euros, which is basically nothing. If it's like $4, and you get like, I don't know, like a plate with I don't know, with meatloaf and mashed potatoes, so it's actually quite okay. Rent is currently of around like 400 euros monthly at a student hall residence, which we have 12, by the way, just alone in Deggendorf. So if you apply early, you have really great chances to get one of those. Or you can also live, for example, with flatmates, as most of students do as well. You need to pay the 120 euros of monthly for health insurance. As I was mentioning, basically everything is included there, including medications or any hospital bill that you gotta pay. You don't have to pay for anything. And this is included in this 1,000 euros that I was mentioning. And well, in Germany, there is a weird law that says that you have to pay around 20 euros of taxes for radio and TV, but well, everyone has to pay for this. And of course, it is recommended if you move to Germany that you make a liability insurance. Liability insurance is supposed to cover you in case, for example, that I don't know, you're playing soccer and you break a window or something like that, then the liability insurance covers it. And well, it's not expensive. It's somewhere around 50 or 60 euros a year. So if you break it down, it's maybe 5 euros a month or less.
Just to add something about the student halls of residence. they're not on campus. That's not typical for European universities, but they are very close. And so they're in town. So all students arrive to campus from the halls of residence, either on a push bike or just walk. So they're all like, I don't know, 5 minutes on the push bike, 10 minutes to walk. So that's about it. And most of them are fully furnished with everything that a student would need. So they're like a large room with a little bathroom corner and, well, a little bathroom, a kitchen corner, and a desk, a bed, a wardrobe, usually. But when you look for a flat, it's worth asking what furniture is already in the flat. And they're all new. They've all been built within the past 20 years.
Yeah,
So
there
they're
are all
quite new.
singles apartments, and some of them, there's one that I like a lot because it has like a small bowling alley in it. So it's quite
Oh,
fun.
that's nice. And they have Wi-Fi, of course. Moving on, Daniel.
Mhm. So important for you to know, well, as our application periods. It is important that you attach to them, and because otherwise your application will not be taken into consideration. So for the winter semester, you always gotta apply between the 15th of April and the 15th of July. And for the summer semester, the application period is always from the 1st of October to the 15th of January. This is mostly for postgraduate studies. Just keep into consideration, not all study courses are always available, like in the winter and the summer. So really read careful through our website that you have displayed here on the presentation. And well, here on this link, you also have everything that you need on how to apply. You will find checklists, you will find all the documentation that you need. It is not much. It is basically like your passport, your records. It is important that your records are the original ones. And what will you need? What else will you need? In some cases, you will need to apply some forms or send some forms in, and well, if, for example, if you choose the one that you need German, then you need to upload like your German certificate. But really, everything is done in our own portal. We don't work like with external, I don't know, portals like UniAssist. We have our own portal, and everything is very, well, easy to do. You're really kind of self-explanatory. It's very intuitive. So don't worry about it. Just have a look at the web page truly and on the checklists and the different things that you need there. And of course, if you need any help with your application, well, we're a whole team of people that will be more than glad to help you through. It was also important to mention like some things about like life in Deggendorf and life as a student. If you're a student in the DAT, well, there is a variety of sport programs that are subsidized. So they're either really cheap or they are completely for free, and you can take over, I don't know, swimming, dancing, volleyball, yoga, soccer, and other different sport activities. We're also not far from, if you like to ski, for example, we're not far from like different ski venues, and you can go over there. I know, for example, I have some friends that like to play golf, and you can play golf for very little money in one of the local golf yards because we have a partnership with them. Or if you like to play tennis as well, you can do that for very little money. So basically, if you're a sporty person, Deggendorf is a perfect place. If you're looking for a little bit of city life, of course, because it's a little town, you can always go to Munich, or you can always go to Regensburg or Passau or other nice cities. And of course, there's lots of different cultural activities provided by the university. For example, there is always like in summer like a big music campus festival where campus turns into a music festival, basically, like a very big one. And there is all the time going on different cultural activities through the campus. For example, exactly this week there is an LGBTQ week, which ends up with a very big party and like a bus ride to Pride in Munich. So there's lots of things that are always being organized. So I promise you, studying in Germany is not only about your studies, it's also about the whole experience. And well, I think that the thing when I look at this picture, this is like a good way that school be you, you know, in a few years. So protection is always important. And if you really, or if you want to know something more about us, just scan the QR code and we'll be, as I said before, if you have any questions of any kind, always there. And we're very, very happy to welcome you at the Deggendorf Institute of Technology.
Thank you, Daniel. It's great. Here's our, of course, we're on all the social media channels, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, popular channels where we post the most videos and most information. And that's my and Daniel's web email addresses. Do get in touch with us, ask us anything, and yeah, thanks for your time and thanks for listening. I will now unshare my screen. Okay.
Okay, well, perfect. Thank you so much. That was a fantastic presentation. I learned a lot on many. I really kind of worked on your website before and tried to understand everything, but that was really, really helpful to get more, you know, the details to the study programs and also life in Deggendorf. So that was really helpful. Let's see if we have. Let me actually put our end screen on there, and then let's move over to the Q&A. Hold on, Is it okay if I share screen real quick, Emma, because you're still sharing screens?
Am I? Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
Okay.
So let me put this one on just that we have all the information one more time. And then let's look at the Q&A. Okay, I don't see any questions, but I have some questions for you, actually. So I would like to know a little bit more about the research opportunities. Are these already available for undergraduate students, or is this more a thing for graduate students later on? Like, when can students participate and how would they start? Like, do they have to talk to the professors, or how does that work?
Well, I can answer that. It is predominantly for master students. The research opportunities are more for master students because we have these technology campuses. And as I explained earlier, each of these technology campuses focus on a different area of research. And so local or national or international companies come to us and they say, I've got a challenge. I want to improve make my factory or my production line, for example, more efficient. How can I use your artificial intelligence? For example, that would be an example. And then professors and lab engineers and mostly, I think, master students would work together to find, to produce a system or a product customized for that country. So it's contracts. And in that way, we keep at the forefront of technology and also, motivate or spur on local businesses to be at the forefront of their technology as well. So it's a win-win situation. An element of research does filter down into the bachelor degree, but not as much as postgraduate. Have you got anything to add, Daniel, since you studied?
Yeah, no. It's basically what you said. When I was when I was a master's student, I of course I got much more into research, but I will say as a bachelor student, I also had some touches of research as well, like active research and active working, with companies that we work together. I remember we had a great project with Alpine Pearls. Alpine Pearls is an association in the Alps that takes care of tourism development, also, taking global warming into consideration because, well, every year they get less snow. So we had like lots of talk with them. We visited also as well, and we work in a project together. I think that master students did more than us, but of course we had like some touch of it.
Okay, that was really helpful to understand that better. Thank you. And we do have a question in the Q&A, but before we get there, I have another one more question because the question in the Q&A would actually have us to go back in your slides. So let me ask my question first regarding the internships. So as I understood, every program has a mandatory internship included. And do you help students to get the internship, connect with companies, or do they have to go out and research for themselves, or how does that work? And what companies are those, for example? Because I have something in the back of my mind that you have some really, like, especially for engineering, like big car manufacturing companies in the area or something, or
yes,
maybe you explain.
Yes, of course. The BMW is just down the road, so I think that what you mean is that a lot of our students do go to BMW for engineering internships. Only the bachelor programs have a mandatory internship. Masters not, because they're shorter programs. They last for 1.5 or maximum 2 years. Bachelor's is longer, lasts for 3.5 years, which is a half a year longer than typical degrees without an internship, and that extra time is used for that internship, so it's a whole semester. I think it's 18 or 20 weeks or something, I'm not quite sure, but it's quite long.
Semester.
Sorry?
It's a whole semester.
Yeah, and so yes, we have a large career service on campus, and they help. They have actually companies pay us. Companies pay the university to be connected to the university, to be cooperation partners, and to put their logo and their jobs onto the university website. Well, it's a login password protected area of the website that only students can enter with their student accounts, but so it's not public. But then they just put in their passwords and their email, and then they can see all the jobs on the online job board that these companies have posted. So they would post possibly Saturday jobs, part-time jobs, casual jobs, semester holiday jobs, career jobs for postgraduate work, and also internships. So would be the first port of call for students to have a look on this online job board. But the career service helps them enormously as well. We also help students prepare for their internship, and also we have like business skills seminars that the University Career Service runs, or interview training, or CV check, because usually to enter into an internship you have to send a CV off and a motivation letter. And so the university helps with that, to check that everything is written professionally, and also helps with these soft skills that students need to develop. They're young and just from school, a lot of them, and so they need to develop these soft skills to help them launch into the business world step for step.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Emma. And another question in terms of, from your experience, do students generally continue with a master's degree, or do they join the workforce after a bachelor's at DIT? What's your experience with that?
Daniel, that's one for you because you did both.
Yeah, I think I can answer it that well. Well, that's very mixed, and I think that depends on the persona. Those many of my peers started working just right after. Some others stayed at DIT, and some others decided to go to other universities. I think that's like rather dependent on what you want to do more than the university itself. But there is always a chance to stay.
Right. Well, I just thought also in terms of, since they have this internship with you guys, that some companies might be maybe interested in taking over the student after they have finished their bachelor's degree, I'm assuming. Is that, do you see that very often, or?
That is
Yeah.
actually, that is actually the case. And a lot of them then get invited back to do their bachelor thesis or bachelor dissertation in cooperation with that company. And then they get taken on afterwards.
Oh, okay, great. Well, thank you. That's really helpful. Actually, because we have Danielle here, I was actually interested in how did you, I mean, Mexico is far away from Germany, right? So how did you deal with the transition to Germany? How did you handle being far away from home and the different climate? And obviously Mexico is big, so you guys have different weather there too, but I'm not sure where you are from, but with the, Germany does have pretty cold winters. So how did you handle all this? Culture, weather, being far away from home and that?
Well, I mean, I have to say that I had like some let's say like a cheat card because I grew up in a very German environment.
Oh, okay.
But what I saw also not only in me with my peers, of course, it takes a big step to go out of your comfort zone because you're not home anymore. Your parents, maybe if you used to live with them, they're not around the corner. And especially if you live in the other side of the world, well, you basically like start from new. But it helps you to grow up massively.
Yeah, that I can
Um,
imagine.
you encounter situations that are completely new for you. But I think that's something really positive.
And did you feel you always
And
had the support at DIT? I mean, I'm assuming there are student services there that are dedicated to helping international students integrate. And
yes, they are. The international office is very supportive, and we have a program called Student Tutors, or international tutors, and they organize like different events, and they guide you always through the first, let's say, weeks through in Germany, and they help you to not only accustom to the culture, but also to accustom to the ways of living in Germany, because it might be a bit different. A big shock for me, for example, was that I had to pay everything with cash because in Germany, cards are not really accepted everywhere. So I was used to be completely cashless almost.
yeah,
That
I
was
often
like a
hear that.
big shock for me, yeah. And of course, like changing from a big city, because I'm from a very big city, to like to a smaller town. But you learn to cope with these things. And then, for example, I turned into a tutor, like a international tutor myself at some point. So I was
Okay.
helping like new students to get accustomed as well. And I think it's a big step, yes, but it's doable. And it takes like a bit of well, like you really want it, but it's more than doable, and it changes you in a positive way.
Yeah, I totally can imagine that. And regarding what you said, since Deggendorf is more like a smaller town or whatever, but it is not far away from the bigger cities. In a way, I think for American students, they can probably see that more. It's like a college town, so to say, in terms of being in the big cities. And I'm not sure how far is I know by car Deggendorf is like about 1 hour away from Munich, but if you use the train, how far are you away from the bigger cities? Are you well connected in that sense?
Well, Deggendorf has a direct connection to Plattling. Plattling is like, let's say, the hub where all the trains move on.
Okay.
And from Plattling on, you are in like 1 hour or something, like 1 hour, 10 minutes also in train from Munich. You are in less than an hour by a direct train from Passau. You're less than an hour from direct train in Regensburg. And you can like even take from Plattling on like high-speed trains through the whole Germany and through Austria. So if you're like with the high-speed train, you're like in 3 hours in Austria and in Vienna already. Or with the high-speed train, you're like in 4 hours or 3 hours somewhere like around like in Frankfurt. So
So
there's
obviously
lots
very
of places
accessible in
going
the sense.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Salzburg is quite near as well.
Yeah, that's a beautiful
Salzburg's-
city, also very
Yeah,
close.
it's
Yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah, it's just a couple of hours. And then I think Prague, it's quite easy to reach on the public transport.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, those are beautiful cities right there, right around the corner from you, so to say. I do have one question in the Q&A from a participant who is asking, do you have international student orientation programs to help students get settled in?
Yes, we do. We do. We have directly before the semester starts, we have orientation weeks that end in a festival in the middle of town, which is really nice. However, it has been in the past that some students from outside Europe who need visas don't get the visa on time, and then they're not there on time. So it's really important to apply early, and then to apply for a visa early, and to do everything early, because everything takes a lot of time. And then you can come to the orientation week. But if you miss that particular week, the international office is always there and will always help, and we'll help you open a bank account, we'll help you register in the town hall, we'll go through the library with you, and I don't know, you need to register the library somehow to get books out, and there are people there, there's international tutors to show you the way around.
Okay, well, that's good to know. It's good that you mentioned that, because I had a question regarding you said you should apply early, right? And oftentimes with German universities, it's kind of hard because they want to have the final transcript already, or the diploma, right? And if students apply early during their senior year, they won't have the high school diploma yet. And obviously they don't have their final transcript yet either, right? And I think I read online, and maybe please confirm that, I think students can apply and actually get an offer already, even if they haven't finished high school yet and have not sent in the final transcript. Is that correct? They just can upload all these documents later on. Is my understanding correct of that, or is that not that way?
Yes, that's correct. Students generally have 2 weeks after the application period closes. So most bachelor courses start on the 1st of October. And so moving back, the application is 15th of April to the 15th of July. And they have until the end of July to upload their documents. They just have to, when they apply, they have to write as in their application that their documents will be supplied when they receive them.
Oh, okay.
And then the application portal will be kept open for them. Then they can still upload their documents later on.
And when would they apply for housing then? Can they actually apply for housing already way before they actually are admitted, or is that even advisable to apply before? Because as I'm understanding, the deadline is July 15th or something around that, right? So and they wouldn't know at that time yet if they are admitted, or do you tell students already before? Do you kind of have like rolling admission, so to say, or how would that work, right, for an international student? Because if you say, yeah, they should apply for housing early on, but then, you know, normally you apply for housing after you know, okay, I'm admitted, right?
It depends from course to course, because some of the study programs have admission tests, which obviously slows everything down, because it depends on the faculty in the administration center. So often they get a batch of students, then do one admission test, and then get another batch of applications and do another admission test. Whereas in some other study programs, they just do one admission test in the middle. And then some study programs don't have any admission tests, so it's just solely on their application, so there's no test. So if they apply early and there's no admission test, they might get an admission early, and then they can apply for housing.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Thanks for explaining that. And regarding the admission tests, is there anything on your website where students could already have, you know, look at a practice test or something, just to get an idea of what a test would look like? Do you have something like that? Okay.
Some of the courses do have old tests, or it's old, and previous tests up on the website, so students can look and prepare. And some have just information about what will come up in the test. So the test is then an online written test, usually followed by an interview, as oral section, and in total lasts for about 1.5 hours. And the test date is then named, so students can't choose their own test date. That date is then fixed from the university. And so that's how it happens. If information is given out about these tests, they are on each course webpage.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's good to know. Thanks for clarifying that. And there is one more question in the Q&A, but I would say that because I would require it for you to go back into your slides, but it says, can you go back to the cost slide? What does the PCM in total cost of living? And then it says the US dollars, 1,000 PCM.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, that was me. Yeah. I put in euros, and then because the euros and dollars are more or less the same now, so I put euros / dollars, USD for US dollar, because they're about the same value right now. And then PCM means per calendar month.
Per calendar month. Okay, perfect. Thanks for clarifying. And obviously the video will be available later on, so they can revisit the slide then anyway. Sure. And okay, well, if there are any more questions out there, let's close that webinar for today. Thank you so much again for this fantastic and informative presentation, Emma and Danielle. I really, really appreciate that you both could make the time to be with us today. I know it's already very late over there in Germany, so thank you, thank you. It's really exciting to know actually that there are such fantastic degree programs out there and all taught in English. That's really amazing. It's a really great opportunity for any international students, I would say. I will send out a follow-up email to everyone who attended today's webinar with any resources that were mentioned today and any resources that Emma and Danielle will share with me. The webinar will be posted on our Global College Advisors YouTube channel later this month. And with this, I wish everyone a wonderful summer. Please stay tuned. We have more webinars planned for you in the fall. Yeah, have a happy summer. Take care and goodbye. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.